What's going on, everybody? It is the 17th edition of the CrewCast podcast, and today we have our special guest, of course, that is Shadow Beats, or should I say I'm the guest and Shadow is the host here. He's the hostess with the mostest.
I'm a special guest when I've been, on every one.
Except for a couple
that one didn't happen.
That one didn't happen. But I think D20 might join us a little later, but as for right now, it's my boy, Shadow. So I kind of like it. To be honest, I like it when it's Shadow and I. We get into some deep conversations, and it's more like a conversation between two friends more than it is, me,
Two husbands.
asking a question. Yeah, exactly. But today, we've got a few things that we're going to cover. Ask you guys on Twitter, once again, what you guys wanted to hear from us on the podcast. And before we get too far into it, I want to thank everybody for all the support on all the other episodes, because people go back and watch them and listen to them on trips and all that stuff, and I get tweets every week from people just saying thanks to everybody in the crew that participates, because they really enjoy hearing a serious side of us instead of just the the laughter and the up-tempo gaming that we usually try to produce. But anyways, all right, so hell yeah. The first thing that they want to know, a lot of these topics, of course, are kind of high school related, but were there any people in high school that you hated, Shadow? And if there was, why?
No.
There wasn't anybody? You got along with everybody? Or you just stayed out of the way? I think you stayed out of the way, didn't you?
Yeah, I minded my own business. There were a few kids that kind of... I don't like saying this phrase because it sounds so bitchy.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a few kids that would occasionally just make fun of me.
Okay.
Because I wasn't one of the quote popular kids, even though I had friends from every clique. It was
every clique
weird.
there was, yeah.
But there was just a group of people who were just the quote in crowd or whatever, and occasionally and they just pick on me for whatever reason.
When we talk about pick on you, they might say what?
Oh, I mean...
Or might do what?
Nothing bad. I mean, if my gym shorts were up, or they were too small or something like that, or whatever. They were riding up too high on, so you could see my knee or something.
Right. It had just a smart-ass comment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even then, it's just I didn't care.
Yeah. Fuck you. I'm comfortable. You can go suck a dick.
Well, no, it was, it wasn't that I wouldn't say that I was comfortable. It bothered me. Obviously,
yeah.
I didn't, I'd rather than just leave me the hell alone. But as far as, actually just hating them, no. Just, I did my own thing. And, I've never... I feel like hating somebody is probably just the biggest waste of time.
Yeah. Spend a lot of energy that you could spend doing something else or thinking about something else.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah. For me, it was starting back in my really young days. I was in a private school from in kindergarten to third grade. And there just wasn't a lot of us. The people in my class were the only people, and we all got along very, very well. And my parents, they moved me when I was in the fourth grade. And when I got to the fourth grade, it was a bigger school. It was a school that D20 went to. And basically, when they moved me into the school, I didn't know anybody, and there were, I think, 5 or 6 fourth grade classes, and there was 25 kids per class. And when I got into class, I actually got really lucky. One of the more popular kids that ended up being one of the more popular kids throughout all of our high school days and stuff, he befriended me on the first day. He said, "Hey, man, do you want to come play football with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And he's like, "You can just hang with me, and I'll kind of, show you the ropes kind of thing." And so I got kind of lucky hanging out with him. And nobody really gave me shit for being the new kid. All the girls were kind of intrigued. The first days they were always like, who's the new kid? Like, are you going to try to date him and blah, blah, blah. So I got a lot of girls coming up to me at the very beginning trying to hit on me or be boyfriend, girlfriend back in the day. It's like, it's something stupid. Like,
Right.
It's really childish kind of stuff. But anyway, so I remember playing football half the time on the playground, and I remember playing tetherball. Did you ever play tetherball ever?
Yes.
I fucking love tetherball.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
shit was fun.
I was like addicted to it. So basically, if you don't know what tetherball is, it's a pole, and it has like a volleyball attached to a string at the top. The string is attached to the top, and the volleyball hangs down about 75% of the way. And you try to wrap the string all the way around the pole until the ball touches the pole, and you win, kind of thing. And so we used to play that, and you used to be able to hit the shit out of it, and it would occasionally clothesline people, hit people in the face. If you hit it like really hard, it would go all the way to the top, and no kid could touch it because they weren't like 6 foot yet or anything like that. So I used to play that all the time, and that was like the grounds where I used to throw my Mac down or whatever. Like have the girls over there come watch me because I was doing well, So, I think D20 and I have talked about this when we all went to 7th grade. I had all my friends from my city, but we integrated with another city that was just the same size as us. So we came into 7th grade with a brand new big school along with our big school, and when we integrated, you kind of hung out with the people that you had known before. And so I personally just hung out with the same people, same thing, but it started being like some of our people started integrating with their people and becoming friends and stuff like that. So there was just a lot of awkward situations in the very beginning in 7th and 8th grade, and there ended up being literally, and that's kind of weird, 2 popular cliques, one from my town and one from the other town. We didn't, the people didn't hate each other, just the way it was. And then back in this day, this is where the whole genre of the Jinko jeans, the corn music, all that stuff was coming up. And so all that, if you had Jinko jeans, you were fucking popular. Like if you had that type of attire, everybody wanted that. It was always the preps, the jocks, what the heavy metal type kids, we call them the skaters. You had this whatever cliques were cliques, and I literally started kind of like you, Shed. I was just friends with almost everybody at that time. I hung out. Most of my friends from my other school were kind of in the popular group, but I had some friends that I was playing basketball, and I was also playing football in 7th grade at the time, and so we always knew those kids too. So it was just I just literally sat at a different table every day at lunch and just hung out with whoever. It didn't matter to me. It never crossed my mind. As we started getting older, 8th grade, 9th grade, then there started being your group of people that you hung out with that were going to be kind of your best friends or whatever. And I remember that, my friends weren't the idiots that did drugs or drank or any of that, but we did have a group that ended up doing that just to be cool. You saw kids that were literally overweight kids when I went to school with them. There's one kid I remember, he was 200 pounds back in 6th grade, and that was huge, really huge. And he lost a lot of weight over the summer because he wanted to be one of the cool kids, so he started hanging out. He was that weirdo that would stand on the outside of the group and just stare at him, and he wasn't talk to him. But after he came back when he was from 200 pounds to 110, no joke, this kid lost all this weight. People started noticing him and stuff like that. So his whole we talked to him before, and his whole attitude changed.
100. I'm sorry, 110.
Yeah, he lost I don't know if he had surgery or what happened. I don't really know, but he lost.
Anorexic, maybe.
I don't know. He told us that he ran every day in the summer, and that he he might have. He said he cut back on what he was eating. Now, he might have really cut back and might have started being anorexic, for real. And so he lost all this weight, and people started noticing him, hey, man, you really lost a lot of weight. And so they started kind of hanging out with him and blah, blah, blah. And so he was one of those kids that I kind of despise because his whole attitude changed. He changed from a really nice guy when he was overweight into a guy that was literally a dick to the same people that were nice to him. Like he didn't befriend people that were there before, but at the same time, we were in that middle space where we were still friends with him, and we're like, what's the deal? I thought you used to hang out with so-and-so. They're like, no, I don't hang out with them anymore. I hang out with these people. We're like, well, what? I don't understand. So I can't say that I hated those people, but I just disliked the people that were fake just to be part of the clan. And I think with your thing too, Shadow, is some kids are really, really mean just because it's like a mob mentality. If someone says something like, yeah, that's right, that's exactly what is right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like someone says his shorts are skinny or short, they would never said anything to you if no one else said anything in the first place. So it becomes that mob mentality. I hated that, like growing up. Like I would literally try to stick up for, if someone says something stupid, I would try to go against that as much as I could. Just like, no, he's actually really cool. I play football with his brother. He's actually a good kid. Blah blah. If they said something stupid, or like if that kid really pissed me off or whatever, like, yeah, he's a jerk. I agree that guy's a jerk, but I always try to tell it like it was in my not just go with the mob mentality as much as possible.
Yeah, and I know that. And I think that's maybe part of the reason. Not saying that I had that sort of insight as a high schooler, but like I know that it was just kind of one of those things where like, oh, one guy said something, and so like the other guys are just gonna be like ha ha ha. And I mean, like that's something that like I've done too. Like we've all done it, and it's like, I mean, hell, like if we're like we do it in like we're watching like a Twitch stream or something at night, and like somebody says something, or somebody's like wearing something really stupid or something, like, you know, one person says it, and it just, well, not even necessarily a cam girl.
I know what you're talking about, though. I'm just giving an example for people.
But yeah, and like one person says something, and then like, you know, maybe like one or two people like just kind of like keep the joke going a little bit. Like it's fine, it's whatever. But yeah, like as far as sticking up for people, that was something else that I never really did. Like I was like, I always thought that was so corny. Like, and I know that's a terrible thing to say, and like usually it's not corny now. Like now that I have actually grown up.
I know what you're trying to get to, though. I kind of feel what you're going to. Yeah.
Like I would just picture like all the videos that they would show us in school about like, oh, if you see a kid being bullied, you know, stand up. That's overplayed. It's like, this is all right. This is really stupid. Like I'm not. No, but there was one time where there was a kid who was like, you know, small dick school bully who.
How do you know?
Was actually picking on. I touched it. He was actually picking on. He was picking on one of my friends, and he was just like, you know, just kind of like doing like a little flick behind the ear kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I had enough of it. I'm just like, all right, you know what? Like, I'm standing up for this guy. Like that's not what I thought, but that's what I did. And so I just like I shoved him in a wall, and I actually got in a fight in school.
Really?
Believe it or not. Yeah.
Shadow throwing bows, baby. Hey.
I mean, it was like it was a lame fight because I mean like there weren't any.
Was it over really quickly?
There weren't any black guys or anything like that. But yeah, like just like I
all white guys.
Black eyes.
Oh yes, of course.
The black guys.
I shoved like, you know, I shoved him in a wall. He shoved me back into a wall. Gave me like 3 kidney shots, but like
in the body.
Did you knock off your fedora back there?
But no, like no.
Working
like,
the body.
But when I say kidney shots, like, you know, like with professional wrestling, how like they just like barely touch, like when they're like punching in the ribs or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what he did. And I like remember sitting there thinking like I'm ready for like some sort of pain. Like I'd never been in a fight before. I'm just like, oh shit, like this is actually happening. And like I'm waiting for it to actually like hurt. I'm just like, wait, is this kid serious? Like what are you doing? And then like that, like
I started rubbing your back. like massaging you.
I felt like that's what he was gonna do next, but then and then both got in trouble with the teachers. I'm just like, okay, like I think it's kind of fucked up that I'm getting in trouble because I was offended my friend, but whatever. And called my mom. I told my mom what happened. She's just like, yeah, you're not getting in trouble for that. It's dumb.
Your mom seemed pretty cool though. Like for real, the stories I've heard about your mom, she's always seems like she's pretty chill.
Yeah, super hot.
Calm down. Oh, but D20, before you were here, I talked about how in our school you weren't cool unless you had like Jinkos or whatever. Do you remember Jinkos?
I never had any.
I never had any either. So like, I think D20 and I
weren't cool.
Like
I had like some friends that had them, so I mean I wasn't like 100% against them, but I was kind of poor, and those were like $60 or $70 jeans.
Yeah, $100 at times,
or whatever. I wore like Levi's.
Levi's, baby. Hell yeah. But that's what I was kind of getting to.
Whatever's.
We were D20 and I pretty much like growing up. My family wasn't very well off at all. Like my parents worked really hard at their jobs. Didn't have a college education, and basically worked above minimum wage jobs, of course. Always held a steady job, decent job, could work up the ladder kind of thing. They have now, and they have way more stuff than they ever had when I was living there. But growing up, it was always the thing where you saw kids that had like brand new everything. Like I guess they had brand new clothes. Their moms dropped them off, and we even had some kids that their parents dropped them off in sports cars and things like that. And you're like, oh my god, I can't believe they have this, blah blah blah. And you're always envious of that. It never really turned into the popular. That was never like just because you had money. It wasn't that you were popular. I don't know why that was necessarily. I guess it's become two schools coming together. You already kind of had your cliques put in place, and I don't know. It was just as we got older, like the whole thing about the way you dressed wasn't a big thing anymore. Like I remember dressing as preppy as I could in 7th and 8th grade, and come 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, I was like trying to dress as comfortable as I could. So I would try to come to school and whatever that was loose fit, and that I was. Yep. Had athletics early in the morning anyways, so I wouldn't really mess up about it. I didn't really care at that point. I think that's pretty much everybody. But it's just so funny how you put so much emphasis on what you look like, what you wear, what you think people think of you, and by the time you're in 12th grade, you're like, fuck it, I don't give a shit at this point. Like, it doesn't matter. But I don't know. That was just kind of weird for me. The whole question was, D20 is, have you, I'm trying. What was it? It was. Was
there anybody that you hated?
Yeah, anybody that you hated in high school, like any group of people.
Yeah, tons of people. Like pretty much everybody in my grade.
Yeah, his grade was fucking weird.
Well, at least the athletes was. Like most of them were like.
I'd say outside of that too.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few people
you had some
that I was friends with, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, by the time we were seniors, a lot of them had already dropped out anyway. So
yeah.
But. There was like, I had a few guys that I liked that were like in football and stuff like that with me. And then, like I had a couple of friends that, that I'd just known for a long time. Like me and this one girl were like really good friends because we like rode the bus together since like 7th grade or whatever. And so like we were pretty good friends. And like 11th and 12th grade. And then, I don't know, there's just certain groups that I liked and certain groups that I just couldn't stand. And then there were some that were just like, I'd say hi to them, but wasn't really, I wouldn't consider them friends, but like I'd talk to them or whatever. So, I don't know, there was like a group, like in each grade, like there was a group of people that were seniors that I liked, and then like a group that were juniors, and then a couple that were in your grade or whatever that I liked and stuff like that. So, but like my grade as a whole, I would definitely rate them like a D.
Yeah, I agree.
There's a few good people.
They really were a bunch of fuck ups. Like
it would have been Fs without me, but
D20 was literally like the only person I liked in 10th grade. There was a couple others that were pretty cool, but for the most part, like we were very successful his junior year in football. And the next year comes, and they're seniors, and they think they are the shit. And their best
They
player.
thought they were the shit, and they were like didn't even play much. Like I didn't play much my junior year.
Yeah, your
either.
best player quit. Your best player didn't even play.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we just had a bunch of people like quit and stuff, and then I mean, it was our quarterback was back, but he was like pretty much the only one that played a lot throughout.
And everybody else kind of like
Whatever.
spot played or
The
whatever.
other guys were like, there's like a few like D linemen and stuff, and they thought they were badass. But we had really good linebackers, so it made them look a lot better when the linebackers were making all the tackles.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh yeah, that's us.
And
Tackle for
then
loss.
guess what we went, Shadow? Well, guess what our record was?
0-11.
0-10.
0-10.
Damn.
Pretty close.
Pretty fucking good, bro. Yeah, I remember the first game we played a smaller school than us, and it was supposed to be an easy win. Like we chalked that up as a dub every time. And we fucking lost, and I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like I was like, "Oh no!" Like, "Oh, we're gonna suck dick." And second
Yeah,
game
like
comes,
I think it was. I don't think it wasn't our last game. I think it was our last home game though.
where y'all fucked
we
it
had-
up.
We had
Remember this?
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was our kicker.
All right,
had a
D20
chance
was
to
the
win
holder.
No, I was the deep snapper.
Or D snapper, that's what it was.
Yeah.
You weren't the holder. Who was the holder?
The,
I don't remember who the hell it was. Okay, got it.
I was a backup quarterback. that
Okay, I
was
know you're talking about.
a year older than you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so third down, we're just going to kick the field goal. We're like on the 20 or something like that. And I don't know, we were down 2 or 1 or whatever it was. And so third down, we go ahead and get the field goal team out there. Like I snap it, hit the dude in his hands, and he drops it, and then like fumbles around to get it, and then just ends up laying on it, so we get another shot. And then the second time, like another good snap, and then he kicks it like wide right. Like, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And then like the coach is like yelling at me for the first one, and then like the next day when we watch film, he's like, "Oh yeah, that was a good snap, is bad hold." I was like, "No shit."
I remember you being the deep snapper for the team.
I was on point.
On
Never
point,
had a
on
bad
fleek,
snap.
on fleek. But overall, like I would say that I didn't really hate a group. I stayed away from groups. Like there were some scary kids in my grade too, where like if you pissed them off, they might come to your fucking house and beat your ass. We did have this place out in the middle of nowhere that we would go and we'd do fights. You remember that spot, D20?
Yeah.
We would go and like someone had beef, time. So we wouldn't do it at school, so no one would get suspended. We were like, "I'll fucking meet you at the blah blah blah." I don't remember even what it was. And we'd go out there with all of our cars, circle around like you see in the movies and shit. And we'd have those guys fight and like, "Take off your rings, pussy!" And then all the people had like rings and shit.
Brass
and then,
knuckles.
Yeah, and then like if they fell down, like, let him up. And shit like that. Then there was always some idiot that goes, "The cops are coming." It would take the cops like 40 minutes just to get down these dirt roads to get there anyways.
It's like out in the
Everyone's
middle
like,
of nowhere.
"The cops are coming, the
Probably
cops
didn't even
coming."
fucking care.
So when their boy was getting their ass beat, they're like, "The cops are coming." And everybody jump in their cars and drive off. Like I was like, what the fuck is this shit, man? But
Classic.
I thought it was just funny how people would fight over the dumbest shit. But the best fights in high school, hands down, were always the girls. Guys
Yeah.
would just bump chests and shit and wear it out in like in the
Push each
first
other or
10
some
seconds.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like square up,
Oh my
bud.
god, girls were fucking savage.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
They'll pull that hair and start beating that ass.
There was one girl that like beat the living shit out of this one girl. Like her face was like all bloody and shit. I don't know if that was. It may have been your 10th grade year. It may have been the year.
Where was it
before
at?
That. It was in the cafeteria.
I don't remember.
Like she like hit her in the face, and then when they were trying to pull her off, she like kicked her in the face and like gashed her face open.
Damn.
It was like blood everywhere. Everybody was like, "Oh my god," because it was this one girl like she was just fucking badass. Just like beat the shit out of people, like didn't care.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of fights though. If you had to say we had a lot of fights or not, I'd say no.
didn't.
We were pretty
Yeah,
tame.
There wasn't a whole lot of fights.
No, we were pretty tame school as a whole. What about you, Shadow? Was there any like crazy fights or anything?
Like I was kind of saying, like there wasn't a lot of them, but I remember this one fight actually in middle school that happened at lunch where some girl grabbed another girl, like pulled her hair and everything, and just started smashing her face into one of the chairs, like the plastic chairs at the cafeteria table that are just like kind of connected. She just like by the hair. Like didn't even necessarily like have like just push the back of the girl's head down. She just kind of like pulled the hair past the chair and let the face smash like wherever it was. And I was just like, damn, man, like what the hell?
That's my seat.
Girls are
trying to eat my lunch.
girls are yeah, they were savage when they would fight. Like
Yeah.
the guys, I feel like we have a code. I don't think girls have a code.
Yeah, I feel like the code basically with the guys is like once someone like mauls another kid, it's usually like you good, and then if they're like you fucking pussy, then they get hit again. But if they say they're good, like whatever, and then they just stop. They don't want to like
Yeah, like in
kill
our
each
school,
other.
a lot of times when people got in fights, like the next week they'd be like best friends, and you're like, what the fuck? Didn't y'all
Yeah.
beat the shit out of each other?
Yeah,
Didn't y'all just get in a fight? Like it seemed like that was more so with with the guys, like somebody getting in a fight, and then like all of a sudden they're cool now. Like, oh, okay. And y'all over there holding hands, eating two straws and a fucking milkshake, and you're just fighting each other.
right. I didn't ever understand that. There was always the weirdos and stuff. I think I talked about this on Sidearms Golf with Friends video, but I had one kid try to pick a fight with me, and he just basically bitched down. I saw that a lot. Like it was always somebody like, "Man, I don't even know why we're fighting, bro. I don't even like that girl. I didn't even say that to her, bro. I didn't even fucking say that, bro. Like that never happened. Like they didn't want to fight anybody ever, so it was like,
Didn't know you went to school in California. With
We
all
did,
the
yeah.
surf
Actually, a lot of surfers moved to our school.
right?
I heard the waves here are awesome.
That's
Well,
funny.
the Outer Banks is in South Carolina.
All right. Next one. Taco asked us things that we like to do in the summer that didn't involve gaming. As a child, I didn't game a lot in the summer anyways. Like, I'll try to go outside as much as possible. I literally try to do country boy stuff most of the time. I'd like to go fishing. I like to go just ride bikes. Like, riding bikes was a big thing for me in my community. Like, riding bikes or riding four-wheelers as you got older. When you could ride a four-wheeler, that's basically your transportation. And so me and my friends growing up until we got to like I guess 12 or 13, we would ride bikes around the neighborhood. I don't know. I used to ride my bike from my house, D20, to your house. Like, that's how far I ride my bike most of the time.
We'd ride.
Go across
Like,
the highway. Yeah.
Well, I'd stay at my grandparents. Like, we'd ride our bikes. Like, me and this kid that lived next to them, we'd ride, like, all the way up to the gas station, like, in town or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that we were really cool doing that, too. If we went to the gas station in town, you knew you were a fucking long ways from my house.
Yeah, because it was, like, the first, like, when they first opened it was, like, the only place that was open 24 hours in town or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, everything else, closed at, like, 8 or 9 or whatever. So if you went, like, in the middle of the night, rode your bike up there, it was, fucking cool.
You were big balling. And there was always a bunch of people out there, too. Like, there was... At the grocery store and at the gas station, there were always like the seniors and stuff that could drive at the time, so we're always hanging out at those places and the pizza place. They were always hanging out there all the time, just chilling. And so I thought it was like real cool if you went up there on your bike and you saw those people were like, "What's up, man?" I'm like, I'm here too. I guess I'm another surfer guy came up to. But I remember, dude, I know it sounds gross, but that gas station had some bomb food. Like potato wedges, chicken on stick. Oh, damn, son. Lemon pepper chicken on stick. Oh, shit, bro. But that was a spot because we didn't have any like restaurants that were real big besides like the pizza place.
Yeah, and like I said, all them closed like early or whatever. So it's like,
that was the only place.
Yeah. Oh, show.
I used to think that was like the shit though. Like their sausage and biscuit in the morning was pretty good too. I remember like going on a fishing trip or something real early. My dad stopped in there. We'd get gas before we went out, and we'd always grab a sausage and biscuit. That shit was the shit, man. Brings back memories, dude, for sure. Faux show. I think I'm gonna go fish with my dad on Thursday, and I can't wait because I think we'll probably stop by that gas station and grab something bite before we head out. So I know it sounds gross for a lot of you that don't know what we're talking about, but I promise you that gas station had some bomb ass. I think Shadow is all about some Wawas anyway, so he kind of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wawa's not just gas station food though, man. Like, let's be real here. They weren't a gas station first.
Like I don't know what a Wawa's is. I'm being honest, Shadow. I have no clue what it is. Like, give me the rundown. What would you compare it to? Like a 7-Eleven slash Kroger or Walmart? I don't even know.
I don't know what a Kroger, but no, a 7-Eleven is. That's basically what it is.
Okay.
Only it's not.
They just have
grimy.
fresh food. Yeah.
Like you wouldn't like you wouldn't feel like you're going into Wawa and then eating this and be like, well, I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna risk dying.
Might as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they like? Did they have like separate section or something like for the deli? Do they have like a deli or like what are we talking here? Like,
oh yeah,
how? Oh, they do like 24/7 deli kind of thing.
24/7. You go.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's like you don't even have to like talk to people. It's great. You just like put your order in a little computer.
Oh, that's cool.
What?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
This next generation. No wonder you always went there, bro.
I
don't have to talk to people and you get your food. Hell yeah.
Next time I go there, I'll take
a picture. Yeah, for sure.
Do a video of me.
Robots make your sandwich, man.
I know, right?
Well, hopefully, robots will fucking clean the knife off before they cut the damn sandwich.
Is that a pet peeve of your, Shadow? Having mayonnaise or mustard on the outside of your sandwich?
I wouldn't call that a pet peeve. I feel like that's justifiable rage. Because it's like pizza sauce or hot sauce, and I'm just like,
ooh,
it's a ham and cheese hoagie. Like,
yeah, wipe it off on your pants. Cut it.
Oh no,
that's all you gotta do.
That doesn't get it off. What were you gonna say, D20?
Oh, I was just saying we have like the gas stations over by my house is like really like it's pretty new and it's really nice, and they have like
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they have like a bakery in there and stuff, and they always have like fresh, like bakery stuff, and then they have like sandwiches and pizza and crap like that you can get. But I mean, they don't cook it like 24 hours. Like they cook it during the day, and then they just package it up and leave it there where you can get it. But
yeah, gas stations are like getting mega like
yeah,
I know like they're almost
some
like
of them
small
are like
Walmarts.
super sketchy, but like that one has like a huge. I mean, without the ones, I mean, there's some that have, like a McDonald's in them or Arby's or whatever. But, like, for just regular actual gas station, those are pretty good.
I like the ones that have, like, the checkout in the middle of the store. Like, from different angles. I don't know. It just seems more cleaner than me than going up to the end where they have all the cigarettes and stuff. I don't know. It's just really sketchy most of the time. But, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That one's actually not bad. I've been there, like, twice in the last week. But yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, we have another question.
We hadn't even answered the Shadow didn't even answer the question, nor have I.
What was it?
The question was what you do during the summer.
Oh yeah, shit.
Play video games.
Fuck, we were talking about riding bikes. How to get on the gas station? Jesus Christ.
So talking about gas station food.
All right, go ahead.
What'd you do during the summer besides video games?
Nothing.
Smoke weed and bang chicks.
Well, I mean, when
you were younger. Let's go
when
younger.
I was younger?
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think, like, when I was younger, like, I didn't really get into video games until, like, probably my, like, mid-teens. Like, I would love to go out and play basketball or football or football in the street or something like that. Yeah, like, it's... Because, like, I grew up in a neighborhood that had a lot of kids around it. It was very fortunate and a lot of friends and all that. So it was so easy to just get a pickup basketball game or a pickup football game. Not so easy to get a pickup hockey game. That's what I always wanted to play.
Not enough ice.
You don't need ice. You just run around in the street and it's
No, I'll be honest though, Shadow. When I was in school, I don't remember what grade I was in, but the Mighty Ducks were a big thing. I don't remember which one, but we would go outside and we would get sticks. And we would get a tennis ball and play fucking hockey with that shit. We thought we were fucking knuckle puck time. That's what we could do. Knuckle puck time every 5 seconds. Yeah. So we would just run around and do all that shit. I thought I was Adam Banks, like a boss, dude. I fucking love that movie. But anyways, that's the only way I can relate with the hockey stuff because I thought I was going to be a hockey player in the South, and that doesn't work out, but I don't know.
Yeah, we played hockey. I was just messing with him, but, like, We did play hockey there for a little while because like it was like when inline skates, like everybody was like big
Oh,
into
yeah.
those, and so we'd play like hockey. Like my neighbor, he was pretty rich. Like his parents bought him whatever he wanted. So like him and his older brother, they had like hockey sticks and all that kind of stuff.
What?
And so we'd go over there and like play either in their driveway or in the street or whatever. Which is kind of hard to play in the street because there's like big hills like on my street.
Yeah.
So it's like hard to like if you hit a ball down the hill, it's like gone. You know, all the way down to the bottom of the hill to get it. But yeah, we played. I mean, we played all kinds of shit. Like we'd play basketball or we'd play football like out in the field by my house, or we'd uh, go over to the pond that's was in my neighborhood or whatever and fish or try to catch turtles or snakes or whatever. We'd shoot stuff with pellet guns.
Dude, that was my favorite stuff. Shooting stuff with pellet guns and BB guns. Like, even at the fish, you go by the creek and you see, like, a minnow swimming, you shoot the damn, you know, but you didn't understand trajectory, so you see it under the water, you're like, oh, fucking missed. Like, because you're shooting right at it.
I shot right at him.
I shot right at on top of him. So it was only the stuff that was, like, right at the surface that you could pretty much hit.
We made a lot of, like, we lived, you know, pretty much in the woods. We made a lot of forts. Like,
oh, yeah, that was
like,
a big
cutting
thing.
Down little, like
kicking them over.
Saplings and stuff,
Yeah.
and, like, make them, like, we'd take, like, machetes or hatchets out there and just, like, cut down a bunch of trees and build forts. We rode four-wheelers, like, nonstop. That's, like, all we did. Like, I had a four-wheeler when I was probably, like, second grade, I guess, when I got my own. It was, like,
Ballin'.
a smaller one. And so, like, we would just, like, ride nonstop. Like, we had trails all everywhere.
I see a lot of kids now, like, in our area that end up dying because of four-wheeler accidents or whatever. And I don't remember anybody when we were younger ever dying from a four-wheeler accident.
I mean, I wrecked a lot, but
I did too. I just don't
never died,
remember.
believe it or not.
Believe it or not. But I don't know. It's kind of weird now. Nowadays, kids act crazy with them, I guess. My parents gave me the talk one time, like, you need to fucking, you know, treat this with respect. It can't kill you. If you're gone for more than an hour, we're going to, you know, come try to find you, that kind of stuff. So don't do anything stupid. Check in with us from time to time. And I was pretty afraid of getting in trouble for staying out too late or going too far with my four-wheeler. So
We always made it, like, when it started getting dark, we always headed home, but, like, we would, like, either run out of gas or, like, it was an all-day thing. Like, we were just out riding, like, nonstop. Like, we probably didn't even, like, eat lunch or anything. We'd, like, get up and eat something, and then, you know, I'd ride over to my friend's house, and he'd get on his four-wheeler, and we'd just go, and, like, my older brother, and we just rode all over the place. 'Cause we had, like, this old, like, dried-up lake that was over kind of near our house or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it had, like, a bunch of big mud puddles and stuff that we'd just go ride. Like, we'd stay inside that lake, like, forever.
that was like that was the thing too with there was a bunch of girls that rode four-wheelers too. So you could, like, if you had a girl that you liked, that would be the first thing you did. Like,
man.
brother, hey, we'll go ride four-wheelers with us. Especially if it was a snow day. Snow days were the
Little mud on the
bomb.
tires.
Get them little mud on tire. But snow days, there was always everyone in our neighborhood, kid-wise, and the next neighborhood, we'd all kind of, like, meet up. And we would all ride four-wheelers as a group or a pack, or go play football as a group or pack. And there was always the hotties with the bodies out there. And you were trying to impress them with the football game or riding four-wheelers. Like, oh, you can ride on the back of mine if you ain't got no ride. You know what I'm saying? You got to get on. So when you ride on a four-wheeler with someone else, it's usually a long seat. And so they have to be right up against you. And they have to, like, grab around your waist most of the time, or they can grab onto the cage that's in the back. But, you know, so that was the way to get the hotties back in the day. For reals. For reals.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
But,
shit.
like, yeah, we just, like, we played outside all the time. I don't think we played, like, usually when I played video games, it was, like, at night. Like, me and my younger brother or my older brother,
Mm-hmm.
like, we'd play stuff, like, after we came in and ate dinner or whatever.
That was a life.
But, yeah, I don't remember really, like, just sitting around all day playing video games like kids do now.
Yeah, I don't either. Games were, there was, like, more of a meaning to the game. Like, there was an end game to it. And it didn't take you a day to beat it. It took you, like, weeks to beat it. Do you remember that, Shadow? Like, the games that you used to play in,
I mean,
in the
I feel-
day.
That was also because we were young and stupid.
And we sucked at games.
Yeah.
You
Not
think
that
so?
I'm any better now.
A lot of the
Like if
games,
you go back and play some of those games, they're like really easy.
Like Zelda
Yeah.
Link from the Past, I don't know if I even could beat that shit in one day. There's no
I
way.
mean, maybe not in a day, but I mean, there were definitely games that, like, you would invest like time
Like
into.
Mario. There's no way I could beat that shit in a day either.
I,
No
I
Mario
remember,
game.
I remember Banjo Kazooie took me a while to beat, and by beat I mean like get 100%. And I think a few years ago when they released it on Xbox 360, I downloaded it. I'm just like, oh yeah, nice game to, to put some hours into, all nostalgic and everything like that. And I mean, 100% it in like, I don't know, I think like probably less than a full day, like game time, maybe
What
like
a loser.
13 hours.
What a nerd.
Because like, I don't like, I knew where all the notes were. Well, I mean, if you played Banjo-Kazooie, like I knew where all the things were. Like I knew like where to go and what to do. Just like just
Well, I feel like, yeah, nowadays, like, kids can just get on and look up a YouTube video of, like, how to beat stuff. Like,
what
if you
Shadow
get
did.
stuck on something, like, you can just be like, oh, I just watch a video and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, with, back in the day, before YouTube, it
You had
was
to get
like,
the
you just had
Mario
to, like,
Guide
sit
out.
there and keep fucking
Yeah.
messing with it, trying to figure it
Couldn't
out.
figure it out. You were fucked.
What was that? Nintendo Plus? What was that magazine that actually had like the levels and shit that would help you?
I don't remember.
Uh,
Bitch, I didn't
What was that called?
figure it out. So.
I don't remember. Nintendo Magazine 90s. So we're 90 kids. Yeah, it was just called Nintendo Magazine System. It was Super Nintendo, Nintendo, and Game Boy. Yeah, it's Nintendo Magazine System, what's it called. Or Nintendo Power was the other one.
That's what I was.
remember that.
Yeah, the Nintendo Power. I remember those coming out, and I was like, my mom would never let me buy one, and I was pissed. But my cousin that got me into gaming and stuff, he had a subscription for every single one. So when I come over to his house, I go straight for that magazine, and I'm reading the magazine, and of course it's like 3 months old, or 4 months, or even a year, and I'm like, oh my god, that's how you do that, that's awesome. And he's like, yeah, I beat that 2 years ago, kind of thing. But I remember grinding super hard on Donkey Kong. That was like my game that I like, one of the first ones that I beat. Just me, not getting help from anything. Donkey Kong with Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong was the ish. That was what I'm talking
I also
about.
remember like actually like waiting till like a certain time to get games. Like, I mean, obviously now we're adults and we see a game we like, we just buy it.
Yeah.
Like being like, oh man, I gotta save all my money for my birthday or whatever, or I've got to put this on my Christmas list and stuff like that. Which I'm sure a lot of people that listen now
Still
do that
do.
because, I mean, if you don't have a job of your own, then it's pretty impossible to just. I mean, unless you're just spoiled and your parents are like, you can get any game you want anytime you want, kind of thing. But like, yeah, but I just remember like looking through like magazines that came in the mail and be like, oh, this game, and this game, came out. We gotta put that on our Christmas list or whatever, and stuff like that. So, good times. What's the
Was
next
there-
question, D4?
No, was there ever just on for that one? Was there ever like an arcade game that you were like addicted to? Like we went to Pizza Hut and they had like a game room, and I remember they had Mortal Kombat and they had Ninja Turtles, and I played the shit out of both of them so much. Like I was like every day, like parents were like, "What do you want to go eat?" I'm like Pizza Hut, and I didn't give a shit about pizza. I was talking, I wanted to play Ninja Turtles. You know, the ones
pizza?
that had
No thanks.
You could have four players play it. Everybody could be a Ninja Turtle, and you'd go and try to beat the shit out of that game. That was freaking amazing, dude. I don't remember if y'all had that, but I thought about buying it, the actual arcade game of the Ninja Turtles. I'm not even joking.
I remember playing like a lot of them. I know, like my first year in college, we had like this lounge thing at the student center, and they had like, what was it, Primal Rage or whatever it was? It was like
Primal
an
Instinct.
yeah, Primal Instinct. That's what it was. But they had like
Shadow played
that.
that a lot.
I remember they had
I
that
played
one. Of
Killer
course, it was like the
Instinct.
older.
Might have been. I don't remember. It might have been.
What was that one I'm trying to think?
I know what
of?
you're talking about. It's
Something
not Killer Instinct. It's the other one. Primal what?
I think Primal Rage was right.
Yeah, it is. It is. Primal Rage. You're right. It had those dinosaurs that used to fuck
Yeah,
each
yeah.
other.
I remember they had that, and like it was like an old arcade game, but it was for like you didn't have to pay anything to play it. Like you could just play it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I played that quite a bit, and then when I worked at that pizza place like in our town, they had like I think it was I don't remember if it was Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man, but like we had a we had a key to the back of it or whatever, so we
Yeah.
could take the change out. So we'd play on like the same quarters over and over again.
like
we'd just take quarters out of the drawer, and then like play on it, and then just take the quarters out and put them back in the drawer at the end of the night. But
Easy.
like, so we'd keep like I remember like having like blisters on my hands from the joystick.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
'cause we'd keep
that's
trying
where
to get the
real
highest-
button mashing came from.
highest grade. Yeah.
Because you just sit there and, I mean, you'd be like killing the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, we kept doing like trying to get the highest score. Like one of us would beat it, and then it'd be the next person's turn or whatever. And we just kept playing that shit like over and over.
That reminds me of there was this video store. I don't know if you ever went to it. It was more towards the other grocery store in another town. But anyways, it was a gaming store like Max's or something like that. I don't remember what his name was. But anyways, he had like a bunch of Elvis shit on the walls and stuff.
I'm sure I probably went there.
You probably went there because we had a few of them. There was one
Yeah,
video
like,
game
that was
stores.
that was the best stuff back in the day,
Like
like video game
Blockbuster and
store.
all
Like
that, yeah.
you'd call like 15 places. Hey, you got this in? Hey, you
Yeah,
got this
exactly.
in? And you
But
had to
I-
drive like 2 hours away to get a game.
Yeah, that one, and you had to have it back in 2 days or 1 day. That's crazy. But this one he had like a huge wall of Super Nintendo and Nintendo games, and I remember I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna play all these games." So seeing that Primal Rage case, I was like, "Oh my god!" That reminds me of that because I just remember going in there, spending 30 minutes to 45 minutes trying to pick a game alone. I'd flip over the box, read what was going on, look at the pictures, like, no, that's not cool. Like, I found so many cool games back in the day, and I probably played a bunch that I forgot about. I probably need to do a series just where I go back and play some of those NES games and stuff like that, because that brings me back so much. And I remember going in there, and because my cousin lived like next door to it, so when I go to his house, we would go over there and just hang out, and he would let us have a free bubble gum that was in the thing.
Yeah.
And if you got like a yellow bubble gum, you get a free get a free rental. So we were all like trying to get that. So every time he'd give us free bubble gum, we would always, if we got a yellow, we were like freaking out. Oh my god! So, but anyways, that was probably highlight of my life back in the day, is getting a free rental from my video game store. But yeah, good times. Good.
Yeah, speaking of like video game rental stores, like obviously, I worked at one, like that was my first job or whatever. But like I had no idea. Of course, it was like when VHS was dying out and DVDs were coming out or whatever. But like we would purchase like the movies from a company or whatever, so that we got them like before they came out. But like they would spend like $100 and something on like a video, like for a movie. I'm like, why would you not just wait till it came out and spend $20 on it and buy them?
So they bought them when?
Like they would buy them, like we get them in, like everything came out on Tuesdays, and we get them in like the Thursday before. But still, like they pay like some movies that they buy, like where they'd have like
I
a
was
whole
wondering how that
wall of
all
them.
worked.
Like they'd have like 20 of them or something like that.
Yeah.
Like they would kind of like lease those out. Like they would, lease out 20 of them or whatever, and then keep 10 and send the other ones back, and like only have to pay like a portion of it.
Yeah.
But still, like you could go, like when you'd have late fees and stuff, they'd give people, like if somebody lost a thing or whatever, like they give them the option, like you can pay us $108 to replace it, or you can just buy us a new one. Like who wouldn't buy a new one?
Right.
Like some people would pay for it, and I'm like, you're an idiot.
That's crazy. I remember.
But, yeah,
I didn't
I
know
did-
how that works.
I would have never known that they're that expensive. I mean, of course, that was back in the day. I'm sure now they can't get away with price gouging like that, because all you gotta do is, like, if you had a movie store right now, you could just go to Walmart at midnight when stuff's released and buy 20 of them at $20 a piece or whatever.
Right.
I mean, and then have them by the time you open the next morning. But
How did those places go out of business? Like, it seems like once you buy, let's say you buy a movie for $60, let's just say that just for fun, but people would come back over and over and over again and lease that movie out, and it'd sit in your store for years upon years, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20 years, and it'd keep on getting rented. I was like, what the? How do y'all? What the crap is going on? Someone's dying of it.
Shadow.
It's
Are you on?
hopefully the dog's dying.
Okay.
Perfect.
But I don't know how those people lost money or how they closed down. It seems like that was
Well, it's just because
big
people
profit.
quit renting videos. Like they go to Redbox or just watch movies on Netflix or on
okay.
demand or whatever.
I guess. I don't know, man. That's just crazy to me. It
And
seems like it'd
I
be
mean,
a
like
great-
some other places that had, more stuff. Like some had, like around our place, like almost all of them had like tanning beds there.
Mhm. I
And
remember
so
you
like
had that,
the
yeah.
tanning beds like kept them alive longer. And then like some of the bigger chains have, like they sell books and like different kinds of like
novelties.
memorabilia,
Yeah.
T-shirts, novelty kind of stuff. Yeah, so that probably kept them alive a little bit longer. But I think it was just delaying the inevitable. They were
Gonna go
going down
downhill
for
sooner or
real.
later. All right, moving on to the next and last question. Last question for you guys is: if you won the lottery, what would you do with the money? And I'm talking like nothing too crazy. I'm talking about like $1 million, $2 million.
Oh, I wouldn't even play for that shitty of a prize. I'm going in when it's 500 million or 600 million, something like that.
Something.
Somebody that won that 485 or whatever
Yeah.
took a lump sum of like 160. So
What the
even
fuck?
so after taxes and taking a lump sum, you get less than half. So you won $1 million, you're probably gonna walk away with like less than 500,000.
So that's not even life changing.
Yeah, I mean that's like you could buy, a new car and
Pay off
maybe
your
a
house
or
and you're good to
whatever,
go.
and then you're back to where you were. So it's like you can't even like if you won $2 million, you couldn't even like quit your job and retire or something unless you invested it.
Right.
So let's say it's a real life changing amount. Let's say it's like 200 million.
200 million? Okay.
Well, first of all, Shadow doesn't believe in the lottery. He would give all the money back to them.
Is that true,
Well-
Shadow?
I don't know where that's coming from.
That's true. I asked you before he said that.
No, what I said was
That's the real thing. I didn't know it was a thing. Okay.
no. I feel like we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, we had it with the sidearms before.
and I thought it was on a podcast.
I think we were just
Um,
talking one night.
But
Can't
yeah,
even tell.
if I won the lottery, and obviously it would be different if I actually had it in my hand or if it actually happened. But I would love to think that I would be the guy to take like my lottery winnings and then just set it on fire. And I mean, I'd probably go to jail because
So Pablo Escobar, huh?
pretty sure that's illegal. But I mean, like the way that I think now, like I'm happy. Like I don't. Would it be nice to have $200 million? Yes, but would it be nicer to just troll everybody who won the lottery or entered the lottery and didn't win, and I was the one in like however many million chance to do it, and then I just essentially just destroy all the money? Like I think that would so be worth more than actually keeping it. But
I would say just
More re-
burn the big check and give me the money.
Yeah. We'll help you
Well,
out.
honestly, no, that's
Well, yeah.
that's what I think I would do. Like I would probably give most of it away. And by
Like,
most, I mean
To who? Because I want to know if I'm getting some of this shit.
fucking any. Yeah, you'd probably. Get it.
Fucking anybody.
How much would you give me if
No.
you had 200 million? Give me an honest answer. How much would you give me? D4.
You
Mm-hmm.
200? If I had 200 million, I don't know many people.
About
You,
199.
1%?
no, you'd probably get like maybe 10 million. Or something
10
like that.
of your 200?
I would.
Okay.
Negotiating over here.
No,
I'm okay with that.
no, I-
It's a big slump.
like I said.
I'll
like,
take a 200K.
I don't. I think like I would.
I hope you win,
would,
Shadow.
I would feel that. No,
Come on,
that's what everybody says. I would probably give most of it away, and like by most, like that percentage is probably in
like 90s. Like
Yeah, I mean, there's
like
really-
you said,
Yeah, like after you buy, like say you buy a nice house and buy a car or whatever I mean, even just buy a house, you wouldn't even have to buy like a super nice house.
that's the thing. Like I don't
Like,
want
what
a
else are you
super
gonna
nice.
spend all that
Yeah,
money
why
on?
would you want $1 million house? I don't get that.
I don't want a super nice house. Like I am completely cool with like living in a cozy like the townhouse that I'm living in now. Like I'm completely fine living here my entire life and like maybe have enough for like another Honda Accord. Like
Hell
Those
yeah.
new ones are nice. They
Bling
are nice.
bling mo.
I mean, I mean, they last 40 years.
They
so
do.
like
I
that's
don't know about 40, but that's a stretch for that.
I buy like I set money aside for one, maybe two more Honda Accords in my lifetime, and I'm set.
Yeah.
Like,
Can't
and
outlive two Accords.
like yeah, and so like the rest of it, like I don't want to deal with the headache of just having just so much money. Like I would, or that's a bad way of putting it. Like I would feel better just me giving like $10 million to like my mom, my brother, you fuckers, like
Everyone's
There-
close to you.
maybe yeah, and hell, like maybe even just like walking up to some homeless person on the street.
I don't think
and-
the homeless people deserve it. I'll be honest.
I don't. Give
I say give it
Those
to
are
grandma,
birds.
give it to a young kid that looks like they have their shit together. Your homeless people, yes, everybody has their own story, but for the most part, they fucked up. It's their problem.
All right, fine. Like they wouldn't. All right, they wouldn't get like $10 million,
Right,
but
you might change their
Like
day.
8
but
million,
so,
yeah.
something that something
8.5.
Here's your
so-
Grand Mac, motherfucker.
something that I wouldn't do is film myself giving
right,
the homeless
these
people
motherfuckers.
millions of dollars.
Handing out burgers to the homeless in my Yeezys.
Look at this $300 beanie.
What time is it? Oh shit! Look at my watch.
It's Rolex o'clock.
And by the way, I'm not
Fucking
just
idiots.
saying that to.
I am
oh,
saying
he's-
that.
he's-
Fuck them.
No, I'm saying like I'm not just saying
Hashtag
that. I'd be like, oh,
blessed.
he's such a
Hashtag
good person.
bless
Like
up.
I hate that shit. Like the reason that I would give money away to people is for selfish reasons. It's because it's
You want everybody to look at you and say, "Oh man,
no, not even
what a
that.
great guy."
It would make
yeah,
me
that's
feel
what I'm saying.
good.
You wouldn't, yeah, you
Like,
wouldn't want to be
I-
like, "Oh man, look at me, look what I'm doing."
I'm not.
It's
I'm
more
not.
like,
I'm not giving somebody $10 million because I want to improve their life, because like the reason is it would make me feel good. If me giving away $10 million would improve somebody's life, it would make me feel bad, I wouldn't do it. Like so, like I ain't a saint.
I'm
Yeah.
down with the shadow. I like their
Sano
whole
beats.
concept behind it. I think I would give a lot to the people that are close around me, and I don't want people coming out of the woodwork saying, "Remember that one time I liked one of your videos? Can I have $1 million?" That kind of shit. Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
No,
people that are close to
I
me.
watch your videos all the time. My mom's sick. We need $10 million for.
Yeah, I would get rid of the money ASAP. That's one thing. It's like, seriously, I would get rid of that shit because I don't want the burden of people giving me their sad sob stories. To be honest, I have a weakness for that, and I wouldn't. Oh, that would not be good. I don't want to have to deal with that shit all the time. Like, I'm out of money. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have more money. So seriously, like, fuck off. I really don't have any. But
That's
good
why
luck.
you burn it. Ah, yeah. Remember when I liked it? I burned my money. Oh,
Oh,
have a nice day.
well, that ended.
I don't want to
quickly.
be your friend anymore.
That escalated. Yeah. Exactly. Like the people that are my friends now, they're the only ones that are getting fucking money too. I don't want fake ass friends. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. But
All
I'm
right,
with
y'all
you.
ready to hear what we'd really do with money?
Hell
All right,
yeah.
here's what you do first. You win the lottery. Obviously, you contact a lawyer before you even take the
Tell
ticket.
anybody. Yeah.
You start an LLC because you can claim it as an LLC and stay anonymous. So you
We already
start
got
an
one.
LLC.
Greenverse LLC.
No, you
So-
start one that people won't even know who you are.
Oh, sure.
And you can
Thanks.
claim it as an LLC. That way you stay anonymous. Nobody knows you have the money. And then you just disappear off the face of the earth. You buy 10,000 acres out in the middle of nowhere.
We walk
You
into
go-
McDonald's and say, "I quit, bitch," or you
Yep.
just never show up
Fuck you, suck on my special sauce, motherfuckers.
because he's so thick.
I'm thick. And then you just,
You're good to go.
build. Yeah, you build a huge house that's off the grid.
Hey, here's the thing too. I don't want my
Hire
kids
somebody to
having
bring
a lot
stuff.
of money either. I give them a little bit. I'm just saying I don't want them to have a lot of money just because. Fuck them. I want them to work for what they have. So I don't
have to
want
work the
anything to be
farm.
easy. Yeah,
They'll be, basically like slaves.
yeah, servants. I like it.
Like,
I'm down.
get back to work, kids.
Yeah, you don't need 20 million. What are you gonna do with 20 million?
Can't sleep
You're
inside.
gonna blow it on coke and hookers. I'm not.
Yeah, that's my
encouraging
coke and
that.
my hookers. Back off, kids.
Exactly. Go win your own coke and
Yeah,
hookers.
when you're on coke and hookers.
All right, guys, that is a great way to end the podcast tonight. I appreciate D20 and Shadow talking about hookers and cocaine with us all night. And thank you for the suggestion for you people that gave us suggestions on the topics for tonight. Remember, you can catch every episode of the podcast on the SoundCloud. If you want to check that out, links will be down in the description. Remember, they are a week late, but I appreciate all the support, like always. We'll see you guys next week on the podcast, and I hope you have a good one. See you guys.